You know that supercomputer you carry around in your pocket? Well, it turns out it's fighting a constant secret war. A war you can literally feel every time you pick it up. Okay, that sounds a little dramatic, doesn't it? But think about it. When your phone gets that hot, it kind of feels like it's fighting you. You're just trying to scroll, and suddenly you're holding a little furnace. So, is that normal? Or is your phone actually in trouble? That's what we're gonna find out. Alright, so this is the key. You've got to know the difference. Your phone getting a little warm while you're gaming? Totally normal. That's just the engine working. But when it gets so hot you can barely hold it, or you get that dreaded temperature warning on your screen, yeah, that's your phone basically screaming for help. So, what's causing this pocket-sized meltdown? To figure this out, we need to round up the usual suspects, the things we all blame when our phones start to cook. First up, suspect number 1, the big, power-hungry apps. We're talking about those intense 3D games or streaming non-stop HD video. These things push your phone's processor to its absolute max, and just like flooring it in a car, all that power generates a whole lot of heat. And then we've got suspect number 2, charging. Now, a little warmth while charging is expected, but things like fast charging, or especially wireless charging, well, they're not very efficient. A lot of that electrical energy gets wasted, and where does that wasted energy go? You got it, it turns into heat. Now this one's a bit sneaky, because it's not always the app you have open on your screen. It's the crowd of apps running silently in the background, fetching emails, syncing photos, checking notifications. Each one adds a tiny bit of heat, and over time, it all adds up. So, there you have it. The suspects are lined up? Case closed, right? Nope, not even close. Because what if I told you your phone isn't just taking the heat? What if it's actively fighting back? You know that feeling, right? Your phone gets hot, and then everything just starts to lag. It gets all stuttery. And you probably get frustrated thinking your phone is failing. But what if I told you that slowdown is happening on purpose? And here it is. This is the big twist. It's called thermal throttling. Before your phone can get hot enough to cause permanent damage, the software steps in and intentionally puts the brakes on the processor. So that lag you're feeling? It's not a bug, it's a feature. It's your phone's own self-defense system kicking in to prevent a total meltdown. Okay, so our phones have a secret defense system. That's pretty cool, but now we have to ask, what is it really fighting against? It's more than just an app or a charger. The real enemy here is something much, much bigger. Yep, the real villain is just physics. Simple as that. See, to make your phone do anything, billions of tiny electrons have to race through circuits. And every single time one of those electrons moves, it creates a tiny bit of friction, which creates a tiny bit of heat. Now, multiply that by billions of electrons moving millions of times a second. All that friction becomes the heat you feel in your hand. And if we break it down, you can see where all that heat comes from. The biggest heat generator, by a long shot, is the CPU and GPU, the phone's brain. But look at this. The battery, the display, even the parts that connect you to Wi-Fi and cell service, they're all adding to the problem. It's a full-on internal heat party. And you know what? We actually make the problem worse. That phone case you have, it's great for protecting against drops, but it's basically a winter coat for your phone. It traps all that heat inside, preventing it from escaping. It's like asking your phone to run a marathon while wearing a parka. And this is why this all really matters. Constant heat isn't just annoying, it's actively destroying your phone. It literally cooks the battery, making it weaker over time. It shortens the lifespan of all the electronics inside, and in some really rare, scary cases, it can even cause the battery to swell up, which is not good. Okay, so that's the bad news. The situation is pretty serious. But here's the good news. Now that we actually understand the enemy, we can fight back. And we can win. Here's how you do it. First things first, and I need you to listen closely because this is the single most important tip in this whole explainer. Whatever you do, do not put your hot phone in the refrigerator or the freezer. I know it's so tempting. Phone's hot, freezer's cold. Makes sense, right? Wrong. It is one of the worst things you can possibly do. And here's exactly why. Two terrible things happen. One is called thermal shock. That rapid change from hot to cold can create tiny micro cracks in all the delicate electronics. The second, and maybe even worse, is condensation. Cold air meets warm phone, and poof, water droplets form inside your phone, shorting everything out. You're basically giving it water damage from the inside. So, what's the right way to handle a pocket furnace? Just follow these 5 simple steps. First, stop whatever you're doing and unplug it. Second, get that case off, let it breathe. Third, crank the screen brightness all the way down. Fourth, flip on airplane mode that shuts down all the radios. And finally, just put it down in a cool, shady spot and give it a break. And for the long game, it's all about building good habits. Keep your software updated, because updates often fix power-draining bugs. Don't game while it's charging. That's a recipe for disaster. Don't leave it on your dashboard in the sun. Oh, and charge it on a table, not on your bed where it can't get any air. And this is a big one. Try to keep your battery between 20 and 80%. It really reduces the stress on it. And the really cool part is that engineers are taking this fight to a whole new level. The newest phones are actually being designed with tiny, sophisticated cooling systems inside them. Things like vapor chambers and heat pipes, just like in a gaming computer, all to pull that heat away from the important parts as fast as possible. Which brings us to this final thought. For decades, the goal for phone makers was simple. How much more power can we pack into this device? But now, the entire game has changed. The biggest challenge isn't about how much power you can provide. It's about how much heat you can remove. And that is the secret war being fought inside your pocket every single day.